The following program is brought to you by Tiger Media Net. That program being, it came from the DVD collection.
Hello everyone and welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, that's my line.
I'm Connor Keating and this is...
I'm doing it. It's my last time doing it. Hello and welcome to the podcast. he's not happy because he wanted to do the line. I took that away.
Can you please leave that in though? It'd be funny.
I'll leave part of that in there. Yeah, but hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is John Billinger and this is...
I'm Connor Keating.
He's very disappointed. And welcome to what may be the last episode of It Came from the DVD collection. Ooh! Yes, this might be the last episode because I am graduating. I'm going to be out of here. They're finally kicking me out. They're putting me down. They're giving me the old Yeller treatment. They're giving me a euthanation. Oh, that. Oh, my God. Exactly. No, I'm just graduating, and where I'm going next, I do not know at the time of this recording. I did do a job interview the other day. I'm still waiting for the response of that. And hey, if I got the job, then yeah! If I didn't, oh. Yeah, I mean, I do have I also applied for a substitute teaching job, so we'll see how that's going. I did. I really did on that one, which is kind of a funny image that some people have of me being a substitute teacher and being a horrible failure at it, but I think I'll do okay. Anyway, enough about my personal stuff. Do you have any personal stuff to talk about, Connor?
They are euthanizing me.
So anyway, I do say this might be the last episode because I like to keep the idea open that there could be one day a revival of it, and I'm going to try to pitch this with Connor because I do like doing this, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes.
Unfortunately, I'm going to be euthanized.
He's not going to be euthanized. He's still going to be very much alive.
They're going to give me the shot.
So anyway, the movie that we're covering, movies, we decided to do one last double feature.
Yeah, and Aiden was with us.
We've only done 2 double features.
Yeah, Aiden was with us this time. Yes. Unfortunately, though, he is busy with finals,
Yes, we might give him a call like halfway through this just to get his basic thoughts. Maybe at the end, we'll see. Anyway, the movies that we're doing are The Thing from Another World from 1951, directed by Howard Hawks, and then the second one, The Thing from 1982, directed by John Carpenter. Dun dun dun. Yes. So, Connor, what's your experience with both of these movies? Which one did you watch first?
I watched the prequel first. So the story...
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there's also so both of these movies are based on a book from the 20s, I think, called the Who Goes There by J. Scott Campbell, I think. And it was made into a movie in 1951. It was also made again in 1982, and then 30 years later, after the 1982 Thing became a cult classic, someone made a prequel to the 1982 version, and they just called it The Thing. And I have a little story about that, but we'll get to it later.
His story is that he hasn't seen it. Okay, anyways, so here's the funny context to watching The Thing, right? So
you watched the 2011 version.
I watched the 2011 and then the 80s Thing back to back. First time, right? But the funny thing around that story is that it wasn't that long ago, but basically the heater in our house went down, and also there was a blizzard outside, so our house is insanely cold. And so my dad says, you know what, we're gonna watch the coldest movie that there is. And so we watched both the Thing movies back to back. And that's essentially my history with it. I did get to see the 80s The Thing in theaters last year, I think it was.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay, so
and then just like 50s when we found it at a video store and we're like, okay, and then we watched it and then we fell asleep. All right. Your history with The Thing.
So a couple years ago, during the summer of 2020, that wonderfully apocalyptic month, time, it was a very hectic time period in our history. I interlibrary loaned a bunch of movies, and I wanted to watch The Thing from the John Carpenter one, but I wanted to watch the original one first. So I interlibrary loaned, ordered The Thing from Another World. It came in, watched it, sent it back, and then I made an interlibrary loan for The Thing, John Carpenter. Okay? So then, a couple weeks later, or a week later, I don't remember, I get a call from the library saying, hey, The Thing came. And so I go to the library, and it's the 2011 The Thing prequel.
That's hilarious.
Yes, and so then I said, no, send this back. This is not the right one. Okay, so we had to reorder The Thing again.
Wow, just being a pain in the butt for your local library.
And then like a week or two later, I don't remember how long ago this was, I get another call from the library that says, hey, The Thing came. And so I go to the library, and it's the original The Thing from Another World. Instead of the 1982 thing. I said, no, this is wrong again. This is the original thing. I want the remake thing, but not the prequel thing. Just give me the John Carpenter thing. And so then like a couple more weeks pass, and then finally they send me the right thing. And I stress all of this because the moral of the story is, if you're gonna make a remake to something, change the title. Okay?
You know, this problem would have been solved if you just bought the like $10 Blu-ray that has just all three of them on it. At, like Walmart.
I was kind of a stickler back then for money. I didn't like buying stuff.
It's $10. All right.
Although, I mean, nowadays, you know, I do buy a bunch of useless crap.
Yeah, I've seen his room. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, I've never seen the 2011 thing, and
It's fine.
I've heard mixed things about it. You know, some people like it. Some people wish they would just release the cut with the original practical effects instead of the crappy CGI. I've seen some of the crappy CGI.
Is very crappy.
It's not very good CGI. It looks like a video game, which is ironic because I think there is a Thing video game.
Yeah, it actually got a remaster recently. It was a 2002 game, and it recently got re-released like a few weeks ago.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a timely release.
Yeah, it is kind of timely.
Anyway, I should mention the reason why we picked this as the last movie is because both these movies are set at the North and South Pole, and we thought, hey, that's kind of a Christmassy type movie. It was either this or Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, but I didn't want to watch that.
I don't want to watch that either.
Hooray for Santa Claus! Anyway, so I guess what are your general thoughts on both things, Connor?
The original one is not that great, and then the 80s one is a classic for a reason, you know. It's a pretty dang good movie, and yeah, there you go. There's my quick thoughts, so that I'm not going on a 20-minute crazed rant about Ultraman. So yeah.
I like the original Thing. I think it's a fine movie. I do like it. I do think the 1982 version is better.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like, I'm sorry. We watched this with Aiden last night, and both Aiden and Connor did not like the original.
We were both on the verge of falling asleep.
And then I was just like, yeah, this is pretty good.
It is. Do you want to give a quick plot synopsis before I
mean, they're both
go on my 20-minute rant about why it's mediocre?
Yeah. How about you do a quick plot synopsis on both movies?
Yeah, right.
I mean, they're kind of the same, but you know.
Similar. It's interesting though, because like the 80s, The Thing is like, it's almost does kind of feel like a sequel, right?
Technically, it is a sequel. Yep.
I mean, like, anyways, basically the plot of the original The Thing is that there are these scientists. There's some sort of, was it a crash landing? Did they see the crash landing? Something happened.
Or they saw that there was a crash unit.
Yeah, they figure out that there is something that crashed out in this ice over here. So they go out there, they find this flying saucer. They try blowing the flying saucer out of the ice with thermite, blows up the ship. But then they find the pilot frozen. So they take him, put him in their shed, and then he unthaws
because some idiot puts an electric
blanket on him, and then the monster proceeds to run around the base, killing their dogs.
Wreaking havoc.
Yeah, he's a plant in the original one, no shape shifting, and so then basically our main characters have to figure out how to kill him because he's a plant. So it's like, oh, guns don't work on him, and then you have like this scientist who he was like, this is the greatest discovery ever. We have to keep him alive, and then there's like army men there who are like, no, let's kill this guy. But then their general is like, oh, you got to keep the spaceman alive because it's the biggest discovery or whatever. And they're like, oh, let's just kill him. And so then they kill him, and that's the plot. And then that's kind of where the 80s The Thing picks up, because the 80s The Thing, right? You got these Norwegians it opens with the Norwegians chasing this dog, trying to kill it. The dog runs to the American base, which are our main characters. They end up just shooting this Norwegian guy. He is coming in, causing all sorts of trouble. Seems like he's crazy. He's chasing this dog for some reason. And then they go explore the Norwegian base. They find the ice block that had melted. They find videotapes where they're looking at the ship. They find the carcass of the creature. And then they bring that back and they're looking at it. And then from there, it dissolves into like the living goo, and then they've also got the creepy dog, which is just straight up a monster, and then they're like, oh crap, there's a big monster running around, and gradually they figure out that this thing can mimic people like perfectly, and so it becomes a big we gotta figure out who's who, and then they all turn on each other, they fight the monster, and then that's 80s The Thing.
And yeah, both are, I think, fine plots. Now, Connor, you said you were going to go on a 20-minute rant on the original thing?
Yeah, so the original The Thing, the big problem with it is the fact that it is very boring. And that is, I would say, largely due to the fact that there is not a lot of monster stuff. There are 3 scenes with the monster. One of them is extremely quick. One of them, and then the other 2 are pretty exciting. But they're both kind of pretty close to the end of the movie, and they're solid scenes, but that's it. And while I am normally not somebody that complains about monster screen time, right? You need something interesting and engaging to fill that space between monster appearances, and I feel like this movie just doesn't hit the mark. Rather than focusing on the fact that there's an alien monster on the base that is going to kill us, instead the entire focus is based around the philosophical debate of, do we kill this monster, do we not? They don't do any sort of we need to capture this thing alive. They don't come up with any sort of plan like that. They just come up with a plan right at the very end, right before the climax, on how to kill it. And in between monster appearances, it's just them arguing for 20 minutes at a time. And I think the focus on this whole philosophical debate is what really kind of hurts the film, because I was thinking back to a film like Aliens, right? Aliens is very similar in its plot, where you have that whole characters in an enclosed or isolated place, monsters running around trying to kill them, and then you of course have the whole one of the characters is trying to keep the monsters alive. He wants to take them back for study, right? And so you have that similar thing with Aliens, and Aliens similarly, despite what a lot of people, I think, kind of remember from Aliens, the truth is Aliens has very little actual, aliens on screen at a time. But when they are on screen, it's really impactful. And there's also the fact that they feel like their presence is all throughout the film. They could show up at any moment and attack the main characters. Here you don't get that sort of thing. And then there's also the fact that the focus of Aliens is on getting off the planet, or dealing with the aliens, right? It's on the urgency of the matter, and then the whole extra bit of trying to keep the aliens alive for research. That's a secondary thing. But here it's all flip-flopped, and that's my big long reason as to why the 1950s The Thing just doesn't work and is a very boring movie.
Okay. I don't know, I always just thought it was fine. I mean, the movie, Well, it was one of the first, I guess, kind of alien invader type movies. Or like one of the earliest ones.
Okay, that doesn't help explain why it's boring. Proceed.
Well, there's kind of like I think there's kind of like a transitional kind of thing you gotta do here for like the first one. It's not going to be perfect the first time, and I do agree that the movie is slow, but I do think there's still a lot that works about the movie. Like, I do like the monster design. He's giving me a mean look. And I think the plant stuff was kind of interesting. It's kind of unique.
Yeah, it's okay. Then that's another issue that I have with the movie is that it's all right. So
I also do like the cinematography in the movie, and it's well lit and everything.
Yeah,
well acted. I mean, there's good things.
I do like the dialogue in this film. I think
in 51.
Yeah, I think it was James Rolfe's Monster Movie Madness review that he did of it ages ago. I think he brings it up there where you have all this overlapping dialogue and stuff in the film, and it makes it feel like real. It gives it a cool sort of realistic feel. But oh shoot, what was I gonna say earlier? You mentioned that the monster design is great, and I think it's
you don't like it.
No, I think it's very boring. Oh yeah, the plant aspect. I think that's a wasted piece of like potential because they're like, they mentioned the fact that if these spores if they get all over the world, it'll be chaos, right? And I know that they couldn't really pull that sort of thing off with the budget and then the general scope of the film, but it's an idea that I think is explored much better in other plant monster movie films like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or The Day of the Triffids. Whereas here it's just like, I don't know, it's another background element to waste time. The whole researching of the fact that he's a plant, I think it helps the urgency or the tension of like, we can't, shoot him because he's got no vital organs because he's a plant, but at the same time, I think...
You don't think enough was done with it?
Yeah, I don't think enough was done with it, or what we are given. I feel like they could have expanded it more.
Okay. I guess it could have used more urgency, but I think as it is, it's just kind of like a nice, chill kind of movie. I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, I can't hate it entirely like you did.
Yeah, it's really mediocre. It is. Maybe it's the fact that, I don't know. I mean, I guess you said that you saw this movie in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I saw it first.
Yeah, too. You did see it first. I only saw it like a little, I think it might have been earlier this year even. Or maybe last year. I think it was last year. I just think it's a really boring monster movie. And the characters just don't do it for me.
Okay.
They're very... boring, and it's like the only fun, interesting character I would say is like the news reporter guy. He's the only one that
He's kind of meant to be the kind of the audience.
Yeah, he's the only one that I really like. The doctor. I was about to call him Dr. Morbius just because he looks like Morbius from Forbidden Planet, but that guy, I think he's very stereotypical. He's just like your usual scientist. Mm-hmm. You've got the main guy and his girlfriend. Really boring. So yeah, that's my ripping into 50s The Thing. Do better next time.
They're all dead.
Yeah, watch a better alien movie like It Came from Outer Space.
Or It, the Terror from Beyond Space?
No, that movie also sucks. That's another really boring alien movie.
Or War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds is yeah. I wouldn't call that one boring, but it's just kind of...
You don't like that one?
It's okay. I think I gave it a 6 or a 7. It's alright.
Wow. Okay, so how about 80s Thing?
80s The Thing is a great movie. An awesome movie.
I do like the 80s Thing a lot.
I know that. I know that.
You're just saying it in such a mocking way.
We're simply disagreeing on 50s The Thing. Yeah, this is a great movie.
And what all would you say about the 1982 Thing that makes it better than the original?
The fact that it's not boring, the fact that the monster feels like a threat throughout the movie. There's some really great build up. The characters are actually interesting. I mean, I think it just kind of is better than it in like literally every single aspect.
But overlapping dialogue.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and like, does it have better dialogue? No, I think Kurt Russell one-liners beat out overlapping dialogue.
Wow. Not even gonna give the original that credit. Okay.
No.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, yeah, it does blow the original out of the water, kind of like the '80s Blob.
And it's crazy that like in the '80s.
Although I think '80s Blob has better effects.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I for a second there you confused me because I was thinking about something else and then I just forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, I think '80s Blob has better effects. Than
Well, we're talking
but
about
I think,
The Thing.
I think The Thing is a probably a better movie. Well, anyways, so it's crazy to think that in the '80s though,
There were
critics were like preferring the original over this movie. Like I'm pretty sure Roger Ebert said that in his review, like, or just go watch the original of The Thing. This one's just a gross out fest. And it's like, wow.
And now the nobody knows the original Thing is a thing.
And now nobody knows the original Thing.
That's kind of sad. I don't know. That makes me kind of feel sorry for the original.
I don't. There are some where it's like, yeah, you do it, or yeah, you feel like the original does kind of still hold up a bit, like even if the remake totally overshadows it or is better than in every way. But I don't feel that way for the original Thing. It is boring.
Okay,
all right.
But
So, anyways, all right. I'll try not to hate the 50s The Thing anymore. All right, 80s The Thing.
So yeah. What do you like about this movie?
The music. I had no idea that this
Ennio
was...
Morricone.
I had no idea. I thought this was a John Carpenter score because he usually does the scores for his own movies. And it
But
has
this was
that,
Ennio Morricone.
yeah, and it has that sort of John Carpenter sort of like minimalist sort of yeah, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's Ennio Morricone, which is
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he was offered to do the music in Girl vs. Monster.
That we do. Yeah, everybody knows that he was going to be
The composer for that, and they weren't offering him enough money, so he passed.
Yeah.
What a simp.
Yeah, and but yeah, normally his scores have like or I was gonna say just like an opera of like women, because you have like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and then like Orca, the killer whale, and so it's like, come on. Where are the singing ladies just like randomly while all these guys are flipping out about their buddy just like his head just split open and he bit a guy?
I mean, it is a good soundtrack, but I always kind of forget this movie does have a soundtrack.
Yeah, it is like I said, it's got that sort of John Carpenter minimalist sort of soundtrack where it is just kind of like doom. No, not
James Bond, like. But there's also the effects, right?
Yeah, the effects are pretty solid all around.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty gnarly, pretty gross, pretty disgusting. They make you feel sick.
Guys getting lit on fire.
Yeah, fire. I don't.
Yeah, I would honestly like. I think The Thing is like the only movie that I've watched. Now I haven't seen a lot of like hardcore horror movies, but I think The Thing is the only movie that like really unnerved me, and it was specifically that dog scene.
Yeah,
the dog scene where it is just making that noise, and you got all those tentacles coming out of it, and its face is splitting open and disintegrating. It's pretty dang creepy, and I would say that is one of probably the highlight scenes of the movie, is that just initial introduction to the monster with the dog scene. And the dog is, I think we must say that the dog is the best actor in the film.
Yeah. Well, the dog's also like half wolf, so it acts weird for that reason. So that's the reason. And the acting's also pretty good in this movie. Kurt Russell's in it, Keith Davids.
Yeah, the Arbiter.
Yeah.
Have any of the other guys been in anything though?
Oh, probably, but we didn't research this.
Yeah.
This
All
is
right.
also this is the reason why we're being canceled. It's 'cause
Proceed to talk
we
about
never-
the movie while I look up.
we
what
never
the other
did a
guys
good
were
job
in.
researching for these kinds of videos. Yeah.
Talk about the movie for a second while I look up what these guys were in.
There's a lot of tension in this movie. There's this one part with the blood scene. Yeah, that gets me every time. And basically, if you haven't seen this movie, go watch this movie.
Oh,
But give the original one a watch as well.
the other black guy was in your favorite movie, Amazing Women on the Moon.
Amazon Women on
Amazon Women.
What's the guy's name?
T.K. Carter.
Okay, good. Okay, T.K. Carter.
Yeah. And let me see.
Amazon Women on the Moon. That is a movie that you should probably not watch.
Is it?
It's a sketch comedy.
Let's see. Then oh no, this is the doctor guy, but not the one that gets locked away. He was in Back to the Future 3.
Back to the Future 3. That is a good one. That is a good movie.
Let's see. The guy who, his stomach pops open and he bites the guy and then his head disintegrates off and then he crawls around. He was in Space Jam and the Twilight Zone movie.
Well, that is quite the filmography right there. Space Jam, the Twilight Zone movie, and The Thing.
Yep, and then
One of those movies is definitely a stinker.
the guy
And
who
it's
likes
Space Jam. Space Jam sucks.
the guy who likes the dogs. He was in It and also Encino Man.
Was he in like the original It, or was he
The
in...
original It, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then that guy's in nothing. That
descriptive.
guy is in nothing. That guy. I don't know which guy that is, but he was in Schindler's List, Hocus Pocus, Three Amigos, Rocketeer. Yeah, real movies. Unlike everybody else, it seems like. Who the heck is Larry Franco? Anyways, that guy was in They Live. Oh, and he was. So yeah, he's the buddy of John Carpenter's. Okay, he was like assistant directed on like all of John Carpenter's movies. Okay, anyways,
Okay.
so I'm done for looking that up.
So yeah, The Thing. Just it's all around a great movie.
All around a great movie, great in
Yeah.
pretty much every aspect. Lots of great tension, lots of great suspenseful scenes. Also, I'm about to ruin it for my dad. So there is this theory that my dad always told me about with this movie where supposedly like you could tell who was the Thing based on gleam in the eyes, and that like the film, like cinematographers would like angle everything and the lighting in a way that only the humans would have eye gleam. And so that's what my dad always told me, right? Yeah, I looked it up, and it is like they only do that for the couch scene and nothing else. So,
Yeah, your dad's got his heart broken.
yeah, that just broke my dad's heart. Hopefully he's listening to this.
Well, okay. Well, anyway, we're nearing the end. Well, how would you compare and contrast? Like, how did you compare and contrast the original and this one?
The original is worse in every single possible way. And then the 80s, The Thing is just a lot more interesting in every way. Better characters, better. I won't just say like effects. Just like generally, the creature stuff is significantly better. The build up is better. Pacing's better. Story's better. Music's better. Did I say that the characters are better? It's not boring. I was not on the verge of falling asleep. That's the thing. We watched 50s The Thing first, on the verge of falling asleep. 80s The Thing, edge of my seat the entire time, and I've seen 80s The Thing a lot. I know, what's going to happen, and, yeah, just a really great movie.
Well, that's great. What rating would you give the original Thing?
I give the original Thing a 4 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 6.
Wow. All right, we're going to tie you to a chair, or I'm going to tie you to a couch, and you're going to be forced to watch Shin Ultraman for days.
Shin Ultraman, now that movie's boring.
That is an awesome movie. I'm going to strangle you after this. All right. What would you give the 80s The Thing?
I would give the 80s Thing a 2 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Understandable. Score.
No, I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10 as well. It is
It's a pretty solid movie.
a pretty great movie.
All right. Well, folks, this is usually the part where I would say, and then next time we're going to talk about this movie. But there might not be a next time. And so I must say, I really do mean this. I like to thank every single person who ever listened to this show. I'd like to thank our editor, Russell Heitman, who definitely listened to every single episode. We'd like to also thank our parents and our friends.
Yeah, I was about to shout out my mom, who I know watches all of these.
Yeah, and then Mr. Schleicher as well, if he's listening. You know.
He doesn't watch these.
How do you know that?
I know.
Has he actually told you that he doesn't?
Yeah. No, he hasn't told me that, but I get that vibe.
Wow. He watches all my videos that get released on TMN.
Yeah, that's to make fun of you in class. But now you're going to graduate, so he doesn't have any reason to.
Well, yeah, he always just kind of critiques them, just like...
John, this sucks.
Well, he never says that exactly, but then he's just like, I just watched this, I'm just like, what's the point?
I'm sorry, let me phrase it. John, this blows.
That sounds more like him. Let's see. I would like to thank. We both would like to thank our girlfriends for wanting to watch this show. No, we're both single. Well, he is. I mean, me. There's some prospects around the corner, but you never know.
No, there's not.
Yeah, and there isn't. And I would also like to thank my neighbors, for not knocking on our doors, being like, turn this movie down, I'm trying to sleep, I can't sleep with you guys playing Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred.
At full blast.
Yeah, full blast. I'm surprised
10 o'clock at night.
I'm surprised that we didn't get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
And I would just like to thank the university for giving us this chance. And
you know what? You continue the thing. I think I've got a fun thing that will end off.
Oh, were you going to call Aiden?
No, I was... Oh, well, yeah.
We need to call Aiden.
Nah, alright, you do that. I was going to say we rank, maybe our top 5 and top, bottom 5.
Well, I wish we did. We wish we had this planned, because that would require some thinking.
I could probably...
Alright, 1 sec. Let me just call Aiden real quick and see how he is doing. Put it on speakerphone. It's on speakerphone, yeah, now. I'd also like to thank Aiden Hammond for taking the time to watch some of these movies with us and also host the show with us, and it's ringing right now. Let's see if he actually picks up the phone.
I did pick up the phone.
Hey, Aiden, you're on the air. You're being recorded. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing okay, man.
We want to know your thoughts on The Thing, and also The Thing.
Oh man, The Thing was pretty good. However, The Thing was pretty mediocre as well. I wasn't a big fan of The Thing, but The Thing was also pretty awesome. I liked The Thing.
Which thing are you talking about?
No, I think he's making perfect sense.
Well, I felt the black and white The Thing was pretty boring, and the more modern one that we watched was a lot more entertaining, honestly.
Thank you, Aiden. That is very insightful information.
Okay, well, Aiden, we'd like to thank you for taking the time to, give us...
Put up with us,
and also take this phone call.
Yeah. Get back to your finals.
Yeah, get back to work. All right, goodbye.
Yeah.
Now it was Aiden Hammond. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have them all ranked?
No, I was just I just pulled up our list of movies,
Well, Shin Godzilla is probably the best movie you ever reviewed.
We did not review Shin Godzilla.
Or not Shin Godzilla. Godzilla minus one. I get them confused.
Yeah. The Giant Claw.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Absolutely great. Dinosaurus. You know what? Let's just go through them. Dinosaurus. Awesome movie.
Yeah. Gigantus the Fire Monster.
Horrible movie.
Wonderful movie.
The Lost Skeleton of Gadavra.
That's a great
cinema.
Great movie.
Peak cinema. Gamera, Guardian of the Universe.
It's okay.
I'm going to strangle you. It is peak cinema. The Invisible Man, solid.
Great movie.
Solid.
Great movie.
The greatest movie of all time, The Land Unknown.
Terrible
awful movie.
Awful.
The Japanese...
You have to admit, come on, The Thing from Another World's better than The Land Unknown.
I will... Yes. The Thing from Another World is better than Land Unknown.
Okay, there we go.
Japanese version of King Kong vs. Godzilla.
It's good.
Great. Yeah, good, great. Ape vs. Monster.
Awful.
Very
Might be the worst movie.
Yeah, probably the worst movie we watched.
Because we had so little to talk about.
Yeah. The Valley of Gawanji.
It's okay. Yeah,
Dang
solid.
good movie. The Monster That Challenged the World. Another boring movie. I would prefer that movie over The Thing.
Okay.
Um,
He's talking about the 82 thing now.
correct. The Mysterians. Solid.
Yeah, it's okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Matinee. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Godzilla 1985. The American cut.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, mediocre. Okay. Them. A classic.
Good movie.
Great
Good movie.
movie.
Yeah.
The Land That Time Forgot.
It's okay.
I'm gonna kill you, John. The Invisible Man Returns. Pretty good movie.
Good movie. Solid.
Girl vs. Monster. I think probably the best movie we watched.
Meh.
Fred 2, the second best movie we watched.
I'd rank it a bit higher than Girl vs. Monster.
The Green Slime.
Green Slime. Yeah, that was an okay movie.
Yeah, mediocre. The Blob and the Blob.
50s
I
Blob.
prefer
I do
the Blob
like.
over the Blob.
80s Blob. I do also
but
like.
the Blob is still pretty good.
Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Good movie.
Oh, probably one of the worst movies we watched.
And then we also did Shin Ultraman, which was meh.
Skipped Lake Michigan Monster.
And then there was also like Michigan Monster, which was also meh.
Those are both awesome peak films. So yeah, that's
the
everything.
recap.
That's the recap.
And we also just thanked everybody who watches this show.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen any of those episodes, go back and watch.
You should definitely watch them, or unless you're horribly unimpressed by this one, then you don't really have to watch them.
Yeah, just like honestly, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think our early episodes are a lot better than some of these recent ones.
Why is that?
Oh, no reason. Anyways, so that has been. It came from the DVD collection.
It came from the DVD collection. Join us next time, maybe, if we ever bring the show back.
If I ever feel like trying to beat Silver Screen Shenanigans in episode count, but then we'll have to do let's see, I think they're at 215, 17 episodes. So we've got
200 left.
200 more episodes to go, and then we have defeated Silver Screen Shenanigans.
Yeah, our podcasting rivals.
Yeah, who have not uploaded in like a year. Anyways.
Those guys suck.
Yeah.
All right, well, you have anything else to say to the audience?
Nope.
Thanks. All right, well, guys, we'll catch you all later.
It Came from the DVD collection was hosted and produced by John Billinger and Connor Keating. The movies covered, The Thing from Another World and The Thing, are properties of Warner Brothers and Universal Studios respectively. This has been a Tiger Media Net production.